This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof, Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin, Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Helena Jacobsen, Matthew Mendoza, Cyndi, and Daniel Moore. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Sayanti Aditya, Senj Sabai, and Daniel Pope to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also want to thank Kay and Mauricio Paz for increasing their pledge over at patreon.com/The Wheel Weaves podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. We really, really, truly appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapter 45 of Towers of Midnight.
Yeah, chapter 45 is a reunion.
Yeah.
We certainly get it. I mean...
We get a reunion.
Between more than just two people. Galad's there too. Like, there's three people, really.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Uh-huh. I was like, how much of this did I skim?
It's like, oh, did I stop after that one perspective?
Yeah.
Because we also have Avienda reuniting with... Ruidian, exactly, right?
Sure.
So that's sort of another one.
Yeah. I didn't not like this chapter.
Yeah, no, it's like necessary stuff. We have to have some of these.
It's good. I'm happy it happened.
Mm.
I'm happy with the way it played out. Best case scenario across the board.
Actually, yeah, like it all goes pretty smoothly.
It's pretty uneventful as far as
yeah,
being reunited with your dead ex-queen mother.
Right, yes, yeah. And you're now Lord Captain Commander of the Children of the Lights, antagonist to everything that you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, half-brother. That you hated
pretty uneventful, considering.
Yeah. Okay,
but
so
yeah,
we'll do
happy.
It. We'll do
Good.
it. We'll do this fast, relatively.
Good. Yeah.
But in this chapter, like you said, we do have the ex-Queen Morgaze. We're going to emphasize the ex because she's no longer queen.
Do we just call her Queen Regent? Is that a thing?
I don't know enough about regents.
Oh, that's not your fun fact?
It's not, because you were probably thinking, whoa, this dead queen is reuniting with her daughter and not stepping on her toes. Like, that's a good thing. But where...
Oh my gosh, has this happened in history, Brett?
No, but where has a queen ever come back from the dead? You've probably totally heard this story before somewhere, and due to my wonderful cherry picking of information and medium hard work on this fun fact, it's basically from the oldest myth in the world, the Epic of Gilgamesh. And you're like, whoa, that's where it comes from, sort of.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so couple quick information pieces.
You know that old children's tale by the sea?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a Mesopotamian myth that's widely considered the oldest surviving piece of literature and myth. It dates back to around 2100 to 1800 BCE. So it's really old. And it narrates the adventures of the Sumerian king Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu. So the point of this is because it's an epic, right? So it's not just a little story. It's in fact very, very big. There's lots of stories within it. And specifically, we have Inanna.
Okay.
Who is the ancient Mesopotamian goddess of love, war, and fertility.
I'm listening. I'm just also looking up Queen Regent.
Okay.
I found it, but I am listening to your very, very interesting fun fact
about Gilgamesh.
You gotta look at all this.
You gotta look at... No, it's not about Gilgamesh. Oh. That's the point. It's about Inanna. Oh, right. The ancient Mesopotamian goddess of love, war, and fertility.
I get it. No, I know.
Who's associated, and just think of all the similarities to Queen Morgaze here, associated with divine law and political power and procreation, right? Those are all sort of Morgaze. And she apparently appears in more myths than any other Sumerian deity, and she's got a ton of alternate names. Okay, so, not quite exactly the same.
I would say that has nothing to do with this.
But how about this one? Her symbol of Inanna,
it's a lion?
It's a lion.
There it is.
Whoa, that's the connecting dot. Okay, and it's also important to note that she was worshipped as the goddess of love, not the goddess of marriage. Who else is struggling with that right now? Morgaze, or was at least.
Okay.
Because the whole marriage thing. But there are a whole lot of stories about Inanna, but the most famous myth is about her descent into the underworld and then returning from the dead. Yeah, boom, there you go.
Kind of like Persephone.
Yeah, a little bit.
Except does Persephone ever get to come back?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
It's like a 6 months on, 6 months off
Okay,
thing,
now
I think.
here's what people really want to know.
Yeah,
a
okay.
queen regent is
Okay.
the wrong thing to call Queen Margaret.
Okay. Queen mother?
Okay, a queen regent is a queen who reigns in her own right. Specifically, like, she has power if her child is like a minor.
Okay.
So even though
So
they're...
like when that child's off in the mines, then the queen would be in charge.
That's right. And then...
You didn't even listen to that.
No.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
the queen mother would be the mother of a reigning monarch.
Okay.
Typically the
Closer.
former queen consort. But then there's also an iffy thing. We could probably also call her dowager. Queen dowager.
Oh, I've heard that word from... Wasn't Downton Abbey or something?
Yeah, dowager.
Yeah.
The widow of a reigning king who has passed away.
Okay.
Or queen... Oh, this actually... Okay, never mind. So this is a real Queen Emerita?
Sure.
Emerita?
Yeah.
Typically a queen regent who has abdicated and given up her right to rule.
Wow, okay.
Such as Beatrix of the Netherlands in 2013.
Yeah, that was so recent. I was alive then.
Yeah.
I think I read about that maybe
Okay.
in the newspaper.
Queen Emerita.
Are we good?
Yep.
Do we do enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even get to talk about the part that she at one point unleashes the bull of heaven, and whose symbol is the bull? Bryn. Oh my goodness, so many similarities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we talk about this chapter now?
We could.
Okay.
It might be equally as exciting.
Okay, so a reunion, and the chapter symbol's a lion. Now we're starting in Elaine's perspective, and she is waking up from a dream where Egwene has just dream shouted at her.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff. So we got to like back up and get everyone caught up to speed on what's happened here. So Egwene has notified Elaine that the serpent has fallen and your brother's return was timely. So a loaded sentence. We're being really secretive.
Well, you're shouting into her dream.
And I thought only like you could hear that.
Me too.
Like, I don't know, but
you could have.
Could have given more information.
You didn't have to be so cryptic because she's waking up going, whoa, that was weird. What did she say again? Like,
right.
She can't even really...
But she does figure it out that means that Missana's dead, so that's good.
Okay.
And that also probably means that the whole stuff between her and Gawain is all like cleared up and it's all good now.
All
because like before it was bad, right?
Not great.
But now they're back in love and all
good.
has to be good because like she's not saying I killed your brother.
Yeah.
You know, it could have gone that way too.
Well, and turns out Elaine was actually supposed to meet up with them and help.
Right.
But she couldn't channel.
Pregnant.
To get the Terangriel to work to get herself into Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And she was actually pretty like upset with Brigida because Brigida told Gawain to scram and get out of here.
Yeah.
But then
turns out that was a good thing.
Yeah, it all worked out, so no one can really be that mad. Oh, and we also have an update on the Cannon project. The dragons.
Oh, yeah.
That we're creating, right? So it's been about a week since the testing of the dragons.
Since she was hoisted up the wall in her bed.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And now she has all the Bell founders in Andor working on this project, and you can hear the constant tests because we have the band. Booms, yeah. The band of the Ranhan Bats Band is training with the weapons outside the city, but there's only a few of them being used in training because we are trying to hide the real numbers of the dragons. We want to keep that a secret.
Yeah, got it.
We don't want everybody to know.
Good military strategy, probably.
Yeah, exactly. You hide the dragons. Mm-hmm. Good.
And also, good news. Bed rest has been lifted.
Right. But we have to, like, kind of be really nice to Malphane.
Okay.
Because she might reenact that. So we gotta be careful.
Right. Oh, the sun is shining.
Everything is good and I feel wonderful.
The tank is clean and we are getting out of... The tank is clean.
Oh, it's good. Okay.
Okay, so she comes in and she's like, oh my god, I heard you screaming as if in terror.
Right.
Are you fine? And then Elaine goes, no, I was screaming because of how joyous the morning is.
How happy I am. Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a big chunk here we can kind of skip over too.
Huge.
Because it's all unless you want to talk about it, it's all the lady business with the babies and the Malphane doing all the baby testing. So, okay, back up. Malphane does not believe Elaine.
Okay, whoa, back up.
Previously.
Malphane is the midwife.
Oh, I thought we were past that. Okay, so she didn't believe, she wasn't taking Elaine's word for it, that there were twins in there.
Yes.
Because, I don't know, she's a midwife and doesn't trust Min's viewings. Whatever.
Well, yeah.
So Elaine's been all about the whole, like, we gotta get her to believe. She has to believe.
Well, it's not that she has to believe. It's just that
Yeah.
we're going to wait until it's confirmed.
Well, Melfin, but it is confirmed because it's Min's viewings.
No.
Yeah.
No.
She's never been wrong.
Science above magic every time.
Except if the magic is from Min. Then it's okay. She's always right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So anyway, Elaine's feeling fine. Everything's okay.
And then Melfin
Babies.
says, babies, two babies.
Heartbeats. I hear
Twins, in
two
fact.
distinct heartbeats.
Wow.
I don't know how you knew it, but
Amazing.
you're right.
Good job, everyone. We did it.
We did it.
All right. Yeah, so that was like 2 pages, 3
Okay,
pages.
so an hour later, she's done with Melfin.
Yeah.
She gets to drink some warm goat's milk.
Right.
Maybe it's growing on her.
Maybe.
Because she doesn't complain about how terrible it is. So I
She's
don't
accepted it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's time to do some queen stuff with boring Master Nori.
You don't like this part, but it's
And
also important.
Dylan.
Okay. So
lots of daily reports about all sorts of crap happening.
well, there's armies in the area, and then there's food problems, even though we are bringing in stuff through gateways with the kinswomen, because we have that whole deal, if you recall.
Yes, I
right?
don't, but go on.
Well, the kinswomen were
No,
like,
it's okay. I believe you.
yeah, we're going to make gateways because, not going to necessarily fight, stuff like that. But there's
Got it.
something they can do, which
Got
bring
it.
food from Rand's territories, but like everybody's struggling with food right now.
Okay.
It's not good. Okay, and also, we have some messages about the hostages that we're keeping. So if you recall, Elaine is keeping the 3 houses that were against her, so the Aran, Saran, and Marn, like Arimilla, that crew.
Okay.
She, a long time ago now, it feels, kept them hostage, and then Nori and Dylan were like, you gotta ransom them before they have nothing to give, before their houses are, like, destitute and broke as shit, can't pay for it. So Elaine was like, no, I'm keeping them. So she kept them, and now the houses are broke as shit and can't pay for their release.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I
they're
skipped
still
over all of this.
they're still imprisoned. There's no money coming in, and Elaine's like, shoot.
You should probably give them back.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Why are they just imprisoned?
They're traitors.
Well, they were.
Sort of. I mean, they were
Kind
against
of.
her.
They were caught up on the
They
other
lost.
side.
That's the point. They lost the succession war, so,
Sure, but like
who do
make
you?
them swear oaths and like kick them out.
No, don't trust them. Keep them hostages.
So they're imprisoned forever
Yeah,
now?
it seems that way. At least for now.
That feels bad.
On to other news, though,
Okay.
because we have way more exciting things to talk
let's
about.
talk about the takeover of Kyrian.
Yes.
Because I'm here for this. Do it.
Do you like this, though? Because,
love
like,
it.
I've never really been a huge fan of the whole Elaine taking over Kyrian thing.
What?
Why does she get both? Why does she get Andor and Kyrian? It kind of seems like...
She has a birthright to it.
Well, barely. Like, I mean, yes, technically, sort of, but,
More
like, come on.
ruling monarchies. That's what I want.
Yeah, okay.
Or a bigger monarchy?
Well, no, because they're like, okay, so we got Andor and then we got Kyrian, which are like, they're 2 pretty big...
They're
and
great.
Why does Elaine get both of them?
Because she does.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have to talk about the
Because
plan here.
she does.
I understand the technical side of the, like, I
Because
have
Rand
sort of rights to it.
trusts her.
Rand trusts her, and Rand says, I want her to have it, but... Okay, so Dylan's got some good points, because how the heck are you going to take care of 2 nations... Because you're one person, you can only be in one place at a time.
You're also super pregnant and you suck.
Yeah, but that's like future. We
Yeah.
don't even have Kyrian yet.
Okay.
So Elaine says, well, we got gateways. And Dylan says, yeah, but still not easy. Okay. Now, secondly, we are talking about having Talmanes because we've got him to agree that he can use some of the band's companies of soldiers, move them into Kyrian to help Elaine take over power.
Oh, right.
We're going to call it lending aid to restore order.
Okay.
I'm doing the air quotes there around that.
Sure.
Because we're moving foreign troops into the country
Because it
so I can
can't
take
look
it over.
like Andor is
Yeah.
taking over. Because they
Force it-
still
yeah.
want it to be Kyrian.
Well, yeah.
It's not like now it's all part of Andor.
Exactly. It is separate. It's separate.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the issue, is like you're using foreign troops to basically invade Kyrian under the guise of we're helping, but you're going to use those soldiers to help you
Take the throne.
take the throne.
Which has been freely given by Rand.
Right. Yeah. Okay. But
And it's not like anyone else in all this time.
Yeah.
literally no one else has gone to sit in the manager's chair.
Well, I mean, we did have that one lady who then killed herself because she didn't want to be a farmer. There was that.
Oh yeah, she did try to sit in the manager's chair. And
Yeah.
then Rand said, no.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
You're going to be a farmer now. And then she was like,
shoot.
Nope, not gonna.
See, the problem is she didn't do a good enough job of it.
Right.
Like, she didn't actually get enough backing to be like, I'm the queen, back down, right? And then Rand was like...
I mean, Rand was kidnapped, and then he came back and was, like, not kidnapped anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was pretty firmly in place there.
Not
if
enough,
Rand wasn't
though.
coming back.
If Rand wasn't coming back.
He's the Dragon Reborn. So that gets to the crux of the issue here.
It's Rand.
So this is Dylan's point. So Elaine's like, okay, we got to find a way to take the Sun Throne without making it look like we're just swallowing Cairhien. The nobility in Cairhien will only accept her as queen if they see that they're going to be equal to Andorran nobility, because they're worried that Elaine's going to come in, basically boot out all the Cairhien nobility, and then replace them with more Andorran people who are going to take over the lands.
That's a reasonable fear.
Yeah, and then Elaine says, well, they all lived under Rand's power, and Dylan says, well, he's the Dragon Reborn, it's different, you aren't that. And then she's like, yeah, okay.
You barely scraped by winning this succession.
Barely got Andor.
That you technically had a right to have.
Yeah.
And you barely got that.
Yeah, and like you technically had the biggest right to Andor because you're the daughter heir.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like not even like questionable that
Yeah.
you definitely could be fighting for this one anyways. So Nori, he's on the same page as Dylan, saying, hey, because he's kind of playing the spy master right now too, like he's becoming that for Elaine. She's very excited about that potential.
Sure.
Nori's doing his best, but he's
not that good at it.
It's kind of obvious too, of like, oh yeah, that guy's a spy.
Yeah.
That guy who keeps taking notes and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy. So there's apparently already talks about rebellions against Elaine in Cairhien, right? That they're already kind of setting up shop to not let her do this. So now it's a question of, okay, well, they could deal with Rand as Emperor, Conqueror, Dragon Reborn guy, but they're just going to look at Elaine like she's literally a foreign, like,
child
monarch moving in. Like,
yeah,
you're just
child queen.
Yeah. Well, not even the child part.
No,
it's just like the foreign queen side of things.
She has no experience. It's not like this is like Morgaze
Yeah.
or something who's like, I have years.
I can run this country.
I have so much good experience. Look at my resume.
Yeah.
And how good I am at ruling this huge nation.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in, Dragon Reborn wants me, I'm stepping up to help.
Right.
Because I'm so good at this.
Yeah.
I have track record of being excellent.
I mean, arguably, it might help her if she was like, I got the Dragon Reborn's babies inside me. Like, maybe that might actually help. I don't know.
She's not advertising that.
No. But anyways, okay, so back to the point here. Now we got to figure out who's scheming against Elaine. Is it the people who are the most obvious? Probably not, because if you were super obviously against Elaine and Rand, you probably got God already. Mm-hmm. And it's probably not the least. It's the people you most medium suspect.
When was the last time Rand was even there?
It's been a minute, but it's the threat of Rand coming back. That's the thing. He's the Dragon Reborn. He can come back at any time.
But he doesn't.
No.
Okay.
But it's also not been that long.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's kind of where we stand. We got to figure out how we're going to do this with Elaine to take Cairhien. That was the point of this. We didn't actually settle anything.
Oh.
We have no firm plans. Well, we got to start.
I was waiting for you to tell me what the plan is at the end.
Yeah, no, we got to figure out who's scheming against Elaine in Cairhien.
Because I read it and I was like, Brett will just tell me what's happening here.
It's probably the people who weren't really against Rand, because if you were super against Rand, then you're already out, right? So now we got to look for people who are having a rise to power very quickly. We really don't get any more information yet.
Yep.
That is all.
I wish I cared more.
Okay. You know what's more important? This all gets interrupted.
Yeah, this is more important. You're right. Because we get Brigida, who just comes marching in here with two cloaked figures, and this is very, very taboo.
Well, you don't just march in, but it's Brigida, and, if it wasn't Brigida, she'd be really worried, but...
Everybody knows she doesn't take guests in the small parlor.
You would never. Yeah.
Even Master Nori knows that.
Unless it's like an insult and you're intentionally putting them in the smallest room, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is that, but...
So,
yeah.
Elaine is like, well, is this Matt?
Yeah, well, she's assuming that it must be. That's not a bad guess, I guess.
But then a familiar voice says, hardly.
That
guy, that asshole with a quarterstaff.
It's Galad.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, how does Galad even know Matt? Or know of Matt
Got
at this
his
point?
butt whooped once.
Yeah, but so long ago.
He remembers.
Yeah, he does.
People don't forget. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he lowers his hood, and it's Galad. And then, it's
so dramatic. I love it. It's like a soap opera. It's fantastic.
And I like how Morgay stays close.
It gets so much more dramatic, too, because now Galad's like, okay, but surprise, Elaine,
she feels some warmth. She's like,
doesn't
hey, oh my gosh, you're alive.
That's the pregnancy, though. It's gotta be.
Mood swings, am I right?
Oh, man. Feel bad for even saying that one, but that's okay.
It's true, though.
It's Galad. Okay, so...
And then several times she thinks to herself, ugh, gotta get these emotions under control.
I know. Okay, back to the dramaticness, because then Elaine's like, hey, where you been? And Galad's
I've been seeking truth.
Yeah, and I found what I didn't expect. Steel yourself, sister. It's so great. I love it so much.
And then the second smaller figure steps up and lowers her hood, and it's Morgay.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And immediately Elaine didn't go, ghost!
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping a
Look
little
up
bit.
behind you.
Yeah, be like, oh my god, it's a ghost.
Right.
Because Ghost disappeared.
That's true. But, the ghosts look more like ghosts, though, They don't look like... Well, except for the times when they are like people.
And you think that they're just people walking down the street. And Matt jumps to the side because he's like, oh, these people were going to run me over.
Except for those ghosts. But, this one...
and also just like that lady's grandma.
Yeah, but Galad's seeing this one, too, so...
Everyone can see ghosts.
Wow, what if they're both ghosts? What a turn.
Anyway, ghosts are gone, and I'm disappointed about it, and I haven't said that in a while.
For now.
I've wanted ghosts to play a bigger role.
I understand that. Okay.
And they haven't.
Anyway,
so she's like, what? Mom, you're alive?
It's an emotional roller coaster of the whole, my mom isn't dead, but then also oh my god, the queen is still alive.
Lives.
Yeah.
But then Morgay, she knows.
She knows
what's up. This is why she's so good and has all the experience, because she knows what the hell she's doing.
And she's like, I'm not going to step on toes.
No. And so Morgay looks down, curtsies, and then says, Your Majesty.
Yeah, a bunch of times. Like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
A couple times at least. At least 3.
And
maybe
then
2.
finally Elaine starts putting this all together.
She's like, Your Majesty. She's calling me Your Majesty.
You renounced the throne, didn't you?
Yeah. I love Dylan's reaction, too. He's like, oh, my goodness, thank you.
Thank the light.
Yeah.
No offense, Morgay, but for a second I was imagining a war between Trakans.
Yeah.
And Elaine and Morgay at the same time are like, it would never come to that.
It's like, yeah, I can see it coming to that, though.
No.
Right?
Because if Morgay comes back as the queen, Elaine knows her role.
Sure.
And she would...
You think Elaine would, if
100%.
Morgay came, okay, hold on, this is a big question. If Morgay came back and was like, yo, I'm still queen.
Yes.
Elaine would dip. You're saying that she would be.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I say no.
Oh, no, she would.
I don't think so. I take the opposite stance of that.
I wholeheartedly disagree with you.
Why? Do you have any...
Because that's her mom, the queen.
Yeah, but she's queen now.
Who she reveres.
She just won the succession war, and she's got so much stuff on the go. You think she's giving up all this stuff right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised.
I don't even think that she would think it's an option not to. She'd be like, damn, this sucks, but I have to.
Okay.
Right? Because...
Yeah, but...
She knows her role.
What about that Aes Sedai smudginess?
She's not an Aes Sedai yet.
She's pretty close.
Nope. I know she thinks she is. But now she can go, to the tower and train or something. I don't even know. But, it doesn't matter.
You're still on the whole, no, Morgay
she'd
gets
be
to come back.
This is my duty.
Yeah, but what about all the bad feelings that Morgay has left people in Andor with? There's a lot of ill will towards her.
There's so much bad stuff.
Yeah.
We're not talking about how it would actually be received and what would end up happening.
But if Morgay was firm, was like, I'm back.
If Morgay was like, I'm back, I'm the queen.
Okay.
Elaine would have to say, okay, hi, Mom, you're the queen.
I'm honestly a little surprised by that.
No, she'd have to.
She wouldn't have to.
She knows, though. And she knows her role.
Okay. I'm going to have to hear some other opinions on this one. Because
I am pretty firm on that one, actually. I'm surprised you're not.
Why? If anyone can show up Morgaze's stubborn hard-headedness about being a ruler...
I actually don't think
it's Elaine.
I don't actually think Elaine is even that stubborn and hard-headed.
Elaine took Andor, and now she wants Kyrian. I didn't see no Morgaze doing that.
No. She doesn't want Kyrian. Rand is gifting her Kyrian.
Oh, yeah, well, she wants it, but she wants the gift.
And she's trying to figure out politically how to do it properly.
She wants to accept the gift.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but that still means she wants it.
Yeah. Maybe she'll go take it and let Morgaze have...
Oh my god, Morgaze could rule here, and then Elaine could go to Kyrian.
Sure, we'll make it work.
I'm okay with that, actually. That would make more sense to me.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that makes more sense. But, okay, that's really interesting.
Since Morgaze is back, and we're like, hey, your mind got all messed up from a literal Forsaken, and we're not going to hold that against you.
Wow.
Some people might hold it against her.
Some people might not even believe the Forsaken are real.
Well, those people can get executed.
Perfect. I love this. I love this form of leadership and rulership. It's great. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, all right. We...
Don't worry, though. Don't worry. None of that. We don't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
Turns out, because it doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter. Morgaze abdicated. She whispered into the wind.
Yeah.
I'm not queen anymore.
I did. I renounced the throne.
Yeah, so first off, we give a short version of what happened, which was the White Cloaks were holding her. Pedronile was okay for the most part. Whatever. Valda was not.
Was an asshole.
And then Elaine's like, bloody White Cloaks. And then Galad's...
Excuse me.
I'm a White Cloak. I'm actually the Lord Captain Commander of the White Cloaks. And Elaine's
like, oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Because the last time we saw you as a White Cloak, we were escaping the circus and the elephant who smashed through the inn.
Yeah, now you run all of them. And he brought all of them here.
All of them, because he commands them all. But don't worry, we'll fight beside you even though you're a magic-wielding witch.
Well, it's kind of funny, too, because it's a very transactional conversation here. So Elaine says, well, how did that happen? And then Galad just, starts saying the story, factually of what happened.
Right.
And Elaine thinks, this is actually an okay way to talk. I'm okay with this. It's all the facts out here.
Yeah.
So.
But eventually, Elaine's like, okay, listen, I do want to hear this story, but not right now like this.
No, we all got all the hard facts, all the stuff we need to know.
How about early dinner?
Yeah, a little bit later. So, and he's like, yep, and marches away, and then...
You're welcome.
Perfect.
To your old quarters.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course he would be.
He's a White Cloak still.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. She could say no.
I would be really mad if she did.
Just like she could tell her mom to get the heck out of here.
I would also be mad if she did that.
Well.
That wouldn't be the right thing to do.
Oh, who are you, Galad?
Knows that.
Oh, man.
Glad to be like, it's the right thing that I go hang out in my room. I need a nap.
It's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So now we got to get some orders out to Nori before we get more storytelling time here. So first off, and very important, we got to publish the articles and all the statements that Morgaze is alive, but she's not the queen. That's very important. Very important. And then Dylan has to go off and start telling our close allies about the story in person so that they're not blindsided by this information. Also fair. Makes sense. Okay, yeah. And now it's just Elaine, Morgaze, and Brigida in the room. We got to have a mom and daughter conversation.
Well, because Elaine is like, congratulations, Grandma.
Yeah.
You're going to be a grandmother.
And Morgan's like, who put that baby in you?
I know. I see it. I figured as much.
Right.
Oh, it's Rand.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
I love it because immediately Morgaze is like, first she comes in like, I'm not going to step on toes. And then Elaine says the Dragon Reborn is the baby daddy. And then she's like, excuse me.
Yeah. He's a man who can channel. But Mom, I love him.
Yeah. It's perfect.
He's good at heart.
Yeah. He's still just a person.
Yeah. Let's get back to talking about what issues might arise by you being back after you pissed everybody in this country off.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we get past that first little point, and the only thing that Margaret says that is a pretty good callback is that, I should have thrown him in the dungeon when I first saw him.
Saw him tromping around the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good little callback to book one there.
Yep.
Okay, on to the next topic, because we got they blast through a few topics here.
Yeah.
So, Morgaze is alive and back, and I actually appreciate the fact that Morgaze is trying to come up with some solutions to some of the problems preemptively.
For, anyone who might be holding a grudge against her.
Yeah, and she's like, hey, we might have to, pay some people off and, make good on a few, I wasn't very nice. There were some issues. Yeah. And Elaine's like, no, they don't even matter.
Gabriel was actually Ravine.
They're going to love you. It's fantastic. And Morgaze's like, I don't know about that. So. But, yeah, now it's just like, yeah, it's all good. Don't worry, Mama Bear. You're back, so it's cool. Don't worry.
Don't worry. We'll talk about that later.
It's a later problem.
And then Morgaze is like, well, I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea for me to hang out here. And Elaine's like, oh, we agree on that.
Yeah.
You do definitely have to leave.
Yeah. Now, I understand that part.
Yeah.
It's like, Mom, I will pay for a hotel for you.
Yeah.
You are not living in my house. I will take out a second mortgage to make sure that you have your own house.
I will make sure that there is a granny flat. There is a suite.
It is at least.
It is above the garage.
It is 5 stoplights away from where we live.
It is so far away.
At minimum.
Okay. Now, Morgaze is like, okay, but how can I be useful still? Because
Right.
I'm not just like some old crone.
Yeah, she is. Like, she does have a lot of information. Like, she is a good resource to use.
Oh, you know what we haven't talked about yet? Don't worry, Linny's alive.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Elaine's
well-
like, oh, I didn't think about her even one time.
Well, okay, she does say that. But she says she doesn't think about her because Linny's gonna, like, survive the apocalypse. Nothing's gonna bring her down.
She's like, I have to admit, I haven't given her one thought.
It's, like, rude.
I've been here for how long? And in my head, at no point was I like, where's Linny?
Yeah. It's kind of rude. It's like
It's
the
funny.
woman raised you,
I
basically.
know. No one thought to like
No.
look for her or be
No.
like, hey, where's that lady?
Yeah, she's just puttering around. It's
She
fine.
died.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, okay, let's talk about how Morgaze is going to be useful to Elaine.
Right. Hey, how about this Two Rivers stuff and Lord Perrin? I have a bit of an understanding with them.
Yeah, I can do that.
Sort of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Morgaze says, okay, Perrin was the reason for my safe return. Like, he did it.
He's an honest
he's a good
and
guy.
honorable man.
Even if he's a rebel, he's still a good guy. But Elaine does the same thing that Fael did to Morgaze. That's basically like, hey, like, I'll take care of that when the time comes. And Elaine, I think she thinks it. I don't think she says it out loud. That the easiest way to deal with Perrin would be to execute him.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm not going to do that. It's like, really? The easiest thing you could do is try to execute Perrin.
Uh-huh.
And that's not going to ruffle any feathers.
No, ask a lad how
Anywhere.
easy that is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
right?
so easy to just execute Perrin.
Get him.
The pattern for sure is just
Yeah.
going to let you do that. No
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and then, like, that's
this is, like,
Rand's
best
childhood friend. And
I know. It's also like best case scenario with like, okay, Morgaze, someone who literally knows Perrin and
Right.
everything that's going on.
Yeah.
She's the ideal person
Yeah.
to actually figure this out and
It's not bad. It's
manage
a
that.
good plan. It's a good plan. And we don't actually have, like, a plan yet.
No, but it sounds fine to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. That's
It
good.
works out. It's all like happily ever after. This is like the Disneyest reunion that's ever existed.
Well, no, because Morgaze didn't die, and the mums always die.
Oh.
Right? Debatably, it's the least Disney.
Okay. I just mean like, oh, it's the happily ever after reunion.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that.
For now.
For now. Till the mum dies.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, right now, Elaine's the mom.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, no. All right, that's it. Because now they're going to get the whole story. Margaret starts to go into it. Elaine's like, wow, what an amazing story, Mom. You're so awesome. And then we're going to perspective change.
Yeah, and we'll
That's
probably
it.
talk more at dinner.
Yeah.
We don't have to see
We're
it.
good.
Because we actually
don't have to-
already lived through
you don't have to show
both
me that.
stories.
Oh,
I
you're gonna-
don't need to see them reacting.
You're going to tell me the whole story again about Margaret? You're gonna go over
You're
that
gonna
again?
do it all again?
Yeah, okay.
Probably what'll happen is we'll go back to Elaine and she'll be like, wow, I think it's crazy that this, and this happened.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll get like her perspective on the situation, but
We'll get a
in like a
flashback
flashback.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was crazy how she told me. Oh, she hasn't told her that she's married to Talonvor yet, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No. She's Morgaze specifically is like, I got something sort of about that to tell you
Right,
about, but
right.
I'm not going to tell you.
I
Just
feel like
yet.
that's the least of all their concerns.
I know,
Like,
but I'm
whatever.
excited for that part.
So that we can see on screen.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, I wanted Talonvor to be there, you know?
Oh.
This is my husband. Right after Morgaze berates Elaine
Yeah.
for her choice of men.
Well, Talonvor is not a crazy man who can channel.
That's true.
And also the Dragon Reborn.
It's true.
Talonvor is just a dude,
Just a dude.
right?
So young. Young Talonvor.
So young. Oh my goodness.
Scandalous. Okay. Are we ready to perspective change
Yes.
for like the shortest perspective?
Super short. It's a quick one.
I just don't even understand why it's here.
Why? It's a precursor to Aviendha entering Ruidian. It's a pivotal moment.
She made it.
Well, you didn't even do the whole
What?
we're in Aviendha's perspective thing.
Well, okay, that's
it's
implied.
so short that okay, we're in Aviendha's perspective now.
We are.
Yeah.
It's nighttime. No mention of weirdo Nakomi.
No, she disappeared, man.
None.
It's gone.
At all.
Yeah.
That mystery it's a cold case.
Well, and when you say there's no mention of Nakomi, she does
Unsolved.
she does think about some of the things that Nakomi had said.
Sort of, but not in a way that, like, she's like, that was weird.
We're not worried about...
Where's that chick?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
With my brain?
Well, she's got something very important to think about here, so it's Ruidian. She's going
and
into
loving
Ruidian.
Rand. Also loving Rand.
Yeah, and the Aiel more so.
Mostly that.
Okay, so let's talk this. Let's talk this.
She doesn't like the idea of change, though.
Nobody
That's hard
does.
for her.
It's hard for the Aiel in general and everybody.
Yeah.
But she has some very progressive thoughts about change too. So first off, we got to talk about how Rand broke Ruidian.
Literally broke it.
They're literally about three things. Number one, the magical mist around Ruidian.
It is not the city
gone.
in the clouds.
It's not that anymore. And he probably doesn't even know how he did it, but he has exposed the city to looking
Everyone.
like a city now
Yeah.
that people can live in, which
Plus,
they are.
now there's a huge lake.
That's change number two, huge lake. And they're calling it the Tears of the Dragon, even though it should be called Tears of the Aiel.
Whatever, Aviendha.
Yeah. Well, because Rand didn't even know how much he's going to hurt everybody by saying all the things he said. But that's like everything Rand does. He doesn't actually know the consequences of his actions before he does stuff. He's just always out there doing things.
Okay.
Jeez, Rand. Mm-hmm. Okay. Third, the future of Ruidian and like what's the purpose? That's the other big thing that he's kind of shattered is what Ruidian's purpose is. So previously, it was used to show wise ones and clan chiefs the Aiel secret and the past of them and the whole...
And does that even matter anymore
Doesn't
when
matter.
everybody knows?
Because the whole point was for us to come and serve the Dragon Reborn, and now that day is here, like what happens after? Do we still send Aiel leaders through the glass columns to learn about the past? Because then you're just like bringing something up that doesn't really matter anymore.
Well, I mean...
Does it matter? Maybe.
I would argue that history always matters.
That's true.
If I had a Wayback Machine, I'd use it, even though I'm not going to serve any Dragon Reborn at the end of it.
Well, that's what we're considering is what's the purpose. So now, is it only limited to Aiel, Wise Ones, and Clan Chiefs now, or can anybody go through? Like, that's the question now.
They will start charging admittance.
Oh, I love it.
And you have to be at least...
this tall to ride.
This tall to enter.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Same with the seeing your 1,000 different futures.
You know, big issue though.
Alternative lives.
Big issue because
only ladies.
No, this is the problem. It's going to fall apart now because we got to change a few more things. Aviendha thinks Ruidian is not going to change what it is. It's like a city of peace, and she's like, "There's no stores, there's no shops. If we're going to start charging people to go on this ride, you got to have like shops and stuff.
I gotta have mini donuts.
You got to have many donuts. You got to have like the beaver
fried
tails.
Pickles.
You fried pickles, like perfect. Like so much good stuff. Yeah,
I need it all.
Yeah. So, whoosh, we gotta
chocolate bars.
We gotta.
What other fair food? Poutine.
Cotton candy poutine. Oh, yeah. Real
Yeah.
good. Yeah. You got to get the typical, like, hot dogs, hamburgers, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but, like, I'm not going to get that.
I'm not going to
at
get
a
that.
fair.
I want to look at it and be like, oh, I'm not going to get that.
No, I'm
Taco
getting...
in a bag?
Taco in a bag.
Fantastic.
Depends, though, how fancy... Like, what kind of fair is
What
this?
kind of fair
is this, like, community league?
A big leg of meat. Big
Exactly.
meat leg.
Yeah, because if I'm at, like, Calgary Stampede...
Right.
Oh, man. They got good stuff there.
Okay, so that's Ruidian's
Or like
future.
Fringe. Fringe does a really good job, too. A whole aisle of food trucks.
Yeah, you're going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy when, like, Ruidian becomes that. Like, food trucks everywhere, as far as the eye can see.
You know what? I kind of see it already happening with peddler wagons.
We're basically already there. Like,
it's just a traveling...
Right?
shops and stuff.
Yeah.
We just need a couple rides.
and you're good to
and
go.
You already have it. All of these things, all of these exhibitions are all traveling. All of these rides, like I would say the glass columns are actually more sturdy than these rides that we set up and take down.
Right?
And
all the time. It's like, I don't trust that.
Nuh-uh. You want me to go on that Ferris wheel with my child?
No, thank you.
Joking?
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
Some...
All right, let's think about Rand and the love that she has for Rand. So well, it's actually kind of interesting too because she's like, okay, Rand is causing all these problems, but she still loves him, even though he's ignorant about stuff, and maybe because of that, because he does try to learn, and she loves because he tries to protect people who don't want to be protected. Like, that's a nice characteristic of his. But also,
he tries to protect people who do not want to be protected.
That's what I meant. Like, she does actually appreciate some of his,
That's not quite what you said, but yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah. So she likes these things about him, and then she also loves him because he does try to be strong, and she always wanted to be strong and be the best at everything. But it's just like, it's a nice relationship, and she has to try and figure out how she's going to love him, but also love Elaine, and like, where are we going to live? Because Elaine's not going to leave Andor. It's very complicated. This living situation.
Good thing that Rand can just channel and zip zap all over the place.
Well, it's not even really about Rand. She's thinking about, like, am I going to live with Elaine in Andor, in the palace? Like, where am I living with Elaine?
Oh, yeah, she loves Elaine.
Yeah, like, she does literally think about that, too.
She should be thinking a whole paragraph on all the reasons she loves Elaine.
Yeah.
Not all the reasons she loves Rand, because
we know
cares?
the reason. It's the butt.
It's the butt. It's so good.
Yeah, she's pointed it out enough times. We know.
Yeah.
So.
And also, shouldn't eat so many candies. We already sort of had their marriage ceremony. It's fine.
And the money and the dresses, the clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good,
a lot
too.
Of good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to marry a queen.
Yeah, me too.
Huh.
Me too. If you ever come across one, you take that deal.
I'll let you know.
You just do it.
Oh.
Get there. Yeah.
No problem.
I'll stay in the guest room. I didn't care.
No, you wouldn't even be part of it. It's fine.
Don't even. All right. Okay. So now we get Aviendha thinking like she's tired, she's thirsty, her feet hurt from running so far, but we're going to rest tonight in contemplation. Sounds very Aes Sedai-y, right? But we're going to have the night in contemplation, and then tomorrow we're going to Ruidian. So tonight she has to think and prepare, and this is when she's thinking about like all the things that call me.
All the changing and everything.
Yeah, and like how are we going to deal with the change? Because you have to be strong to accept change, because you can't always avoid it, even though you don't like it. Like, we do have to make some changes to the Aiel way of life. And that really speaks to how Rand is going to, like, save a remnant. Like, that's the whole point about the Aiel.
Because, like, you're not all going to survive, because everything is going to be different. And the people who cling to the way of life that they've always known are probably going to be the ones who don't end up surviving.
Well, I mean, is that the remnant of a remnant that is going to survive being as Aiel? Like, the tiny little faction that's going to maintain...
It is kind of like the breaking apart of the Aiel to the Gen Aiel to the dedicated to the way of the leaf to the whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
And so that's probably what will end up happening here is a couple people will hold, or a couple groups will hold on to the sanctity of what it means to be Aiel to them.
Exactly.
And stay in the desert, even though
keep doing all the traditional Aiel things. But then what about the rest of the Aiel? And that's why I actually really like this little segment here, because she's trying to think about like what is next for the Aiel. Like, we're here for... Like, we're going to be in the wetlands. Yeah. We have the last battle to deal with, and we do have the Shanshan and the White Tower. Like, there's a lot of stuff we got to worry about as Aiel, but, like, long term, what are the Aiel going to be? Like, what's the purpose? How is our culture going to survive?
I think she's looking way too big picture.
Huge picture, like, ginormous. Outside the scope of even her life, probably, but...
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have big thinkers sometimes.
I mean, like, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the most real thing that she says here, the most relatable thing that I connect with is she's like, I'm going to go through those glass columns mostly because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why I would go.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, my entire society of people that I could save, whatever.
Yeah.
But also...
Sounds really cool.
I'm so curious.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like...
And you know what? Maybe she'll get some perspective like that.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
But also, it sounds really
also,
cool.
I'm so curious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So?
Yeah, so here we go. Ruidian is the place to be.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, for her.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
A lot of spiraling.
Are you excited to, like, possibly see Aviendha going through?
I mean, cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
I would love to see Aviendha's version of the way back, like the same style that we got with Rand, but with Aviendha, where like we get the revelation again. Yeah. Now that we know even more.
And then it'll be like a Luke and Leia situation where it's like, oh my god, they're all
related. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah, no, just joking. But no, I get what you're saying too, because that would be cool.
But, however,
you don't think?
I 1000% think we're not going to get that.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah. So we continue with one chapter at a time here.
Okay. And our season finale of season 3 is this week.
Yep.
So after this week, we're done for a while with extra stuff.
Extra show stuff,
show stuff, yeah.
Unless we want to do like a little bit of a... We'll see.
Not soon.
No, I'm not going to promise anything because...
Definitely don't.
We're not going to do that. Mm-mm. We have a bad track record.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah, so one chapter 46 for next episode.
Okay, sounds good. And now before you get reunited with your dead ex-queen mother, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking around. That's the end of another fun episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett and produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, Zane Sayaka, Matrix, Matt Truss, The Albatross, Bratimus Prime, Sarah Creech, Sims, and Saverio Bartolini. With music by Audionautics. Now, everyone, please be sure to go check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon-exclusive merchandise as a thank you, plus you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And, at the time of recording, we have almost 50 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. As always, please be sure to give us a 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. For general information about our show, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.